recording. Let me turn this. Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our stall's hot-tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on that over.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls we're up there to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay. Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Don't ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can.
Yeah!
Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our stall's hot-tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on that over.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls we're up there to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay. Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Don't ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can.
Yeah!
Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our stall's hot-tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on that over.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls we're up there to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay. Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Don't ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can.
Yeah!
Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our stall's hot-tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on that over.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls we're up there to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay. Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Don't ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can.
Yeah!
Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our stall's hot-tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on that over.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls we're up there to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay. Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Don't ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can. Yeah! Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot Tonic Heat Press.
Yeah. Y'all actually won an award, the Boss Mag 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that media outlet thing.
Man, I don't even know. Yeah.
Like y'all won. He didn't even know he won.
What'd you say? Who was it?
You won the Boss Magazine 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Congratulations.
That's legendary. That's legendary. That's legendary.
Yes.
Peanut coming to you. It's on you, bro. You on?
Yo, what's good, boy? It's your boy Peanut, aka Dash Resourcing with my man Stacking Smith.
Smith Drug Commando in the building. You guys, welcome to the Legendary People Podcast, bro. Man, we are bringing in like just kings, man. You feel me?
Absolutely.
And they coming here for me.
wait a minute, man.
I just this Peanut about to say, hey, see, this is like some Kobe and Shaq stuff about to happen right now. We jockeying for power, man. Are you kidding
You definitely
me?
Shaq and I'm Kobe in that. You know what I mean? I dropped 81. You know what I mean?
I'm LeBron. You Kyrie. But hey, you didn't get. You're not getting back to that.
Man.
All right, you guys, man. Look, first thing that we wanted to do was, man, if you guys are watching on our Facebook page, man, please go to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube link is in the description of this video. Go to our channel and then watch the video from there. We encourage you to comment because we're gonna read all the comments at the end of the interview.
Section.
So make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell notification. Man, we are climbing in subscribers. We like right there. We might be at over 950 subscribers. So we're a little closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark that we trying to reach. So, man, come on and let's get it together. And then it's going to be major, right?
Absolutely.
Man, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors, who is Shiekhs. Shiekhs Restaurant and Lounge. They got the best breakfast in the city. I love it. As I always want to promote, they got good old French toast platter with turkey bacon, scrambled eggs and cheese, and just good old stuff, man, that you will actually love.
Absolutely.
I love it. Sheikhs for breakfast. Go and check out Sheikhs. And then for lunch, you want to stop by Agnes All Natural Grill on the corner of 3rd and Wayne. Good old jerk chicken. Did you go there?
Yeah.
I sent 2 people there today.
Hey.
You see?
You gotta check out Agnes.
Man, Agnes, man, is very good, bro. And it's a different look. They right downtown, real home feel. You go down there and sit down with your friends, your family, and eat you some good old lunch, man. Agnes All Natural Grill on the corner of 3rd and Wayne. If you ever get injured for any reason, I want you to make sure you keep you a good old neck brace in your back seat.
Yeah.
And then
Pull it
slap
out.
that thing on real quick. You hear me? Call your ambulance. And then when you get to the hospital, call attorney Michael Wright at 937-222-7477. Bro, make the right choice. Make the right choice, man. Michael Wright, man, my bro. And when you want to unwind, drink some Kiara Wine.
Wow, that's a boss, man.
Yes, sir. Drink some Kiara Wine. Man, you can contact Antoine Cunningham. His name is also tagged in the description of this video as a sponsor, Kiara Wine, right here from the city. And last but not least, we got baby Amazon in the building, man. The shop area. Where this
Man,
thing at,
look,
bro?
it came in 4 days.
We actually got something from the shoparea.com.
4
We got
days.
something, bro, from them. So
4 days.
4 days, man. And we want to really go and check her out, man, because she really is seeing something in us, and she is actually breaking bread with us in order for us to promote her stuff. So we want to do a good job, and we want everybody to go there. So this is worthwhile for her, right?
Exactly.
Right, for sure. Shoparea.com. Like I said, it's the baby Amazon, so that tells you they got a little bit of everything. So make sure that you go to shoparea.com, and that website is also tagged in this description. All right. man, the Legendary People Podcast, man. Make sure you guys go like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification on our YouTube channel. And now, without further ado, Peanut Johnson, back to you. Back to you.
You getting good at the transition thing. I'm telling you that.
Thank you, bro.
Without further ado, man, listen, man. I know I oversell it every day, but have I lied to y'all yet?
No
there
way,
has
man.
been no legend higher than the person I'm about to announce right now. When I tell you this man is a peace builder, okay, a social healer, a freedom fighter, a network weaver, okay, a lover of humanity, my man Amaha Sellassie'S, man. How you, bro?
Good, man.
How you,
Good,
man?
thanks. How you living?
Sellassie'S, my bad. Yeah, man. So, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. You know what I mean? Thankful to be here. Just love the energy and the vibes. And good.
So, I want to let y'all know, he been on a run today. What's this, your third interview today?
Yeah, that's my third interview, and I taught 2 classes. So
Wow.
I actually taught 3 classes.
Yeah. That's
Man,
good, bro.
Boy, man. All glory, man. All glory,
go.
bro. All glory. So, so here on the Legendary People Podcast, we got to find out the origins of where our legends come from. So, without further ado, where'd you grow up?
Sure. Yeah, I split time between here and Centerville. I was born in Dayton, and we moved out to the suburbs when I was young, and then lived in LA a little bit. And then
Wow.
back to the city.
So, like, what area in Dayton, or that too young probably to go back?
I stayed off Salem. Like,
Okay.
I went to Grace Methodist for
Okay.
So yeah, so.
Okay. So, like, what was that transition like going from living in the, the hood rather, and then transitioning to living in like the suburbs, really?
It was different, like I think wasn't my black folk out there, and yeah, I would say that was one of the biggest things that stood out to me was that, not a lot of black folk.
Right. So, like, who were some of your first, like, early childhood friends, like growing up?
Say Lamont,
Okay.
Brian, Chris.
These your friends in Dayton when you living off of Salem? Or these are your friends once you get to Centerville?
Once I got to Centerville, yeah. I moved in like first grade, so.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's super
All right.
early. So, because I've done a bunch of research on you. I see that faith is a real strong presence in your life going forward. Was that a early pillars of who you were growing up?
Nah, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but actually it was the opposite because I distinctly remembering in second grade, like there was some misunderstandings in my house as far as like what religion was and things, and then I remember just thinking one day, well, there must not be a Most High, you know what I mean? And I literally, until I got into high school, like didn't really deal with it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and so, but when, by the grace of the Most High, he revealed himself to me, I was just hungry. I didn't even know what it was, but yeah, I was just hungry, to live in his presence. And the more that I understood that it was real, the more I knew I could surrender. I didn't know what that meant, but I was like, if there is a thing greater than me, then there has to be a way that I can come underneath that. And then that's what kind of like set me on a path of just trying to understand.
Well, you spoke about the fragrance of it. So, can you kind of tell the viewers like what that really means, like the fragrance of it that kind of got you into it?
Got you. Yeah. It wasn't the fragrance that got me into it.
Okay.
I think it was the presence, right? And knowing that like something beyond me that was tangible, existed. You know what I mean? And that's what got me hungry for more. And at the time, I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know how to come underneath it, but I kept just seeing in the Bible, something, man of God, something, man of God. And I was like, okay, what is this thing of being a man of God? And like, I expected some 10-point plan, you know what I mean? If I got do these things, you know? But I started imagining, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, so let's say that like, David and different prophets and saints, they would rise early in the morning. So to me, it would be like, okay, you know, I must have to rise early in the morning. You know what I mean? So I would try to emulate like how did they walk? You know what I mean? And that's kind of what formed my framework. But to me, like the fragrance is more of like the tangible anointing that comes from walking in the flow. You know what I mean? And so it's like how you shift the atmosphere, how you be an invitation to love by living that love amongst each other. You know what I mean? Things like that. And so. To me, like, you know, that's all of grace because you can't make it up, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But you know, it's a taste and see that the Lord is good, right? And
Exactly.
so by His grace and by His mercy, you know what I mean? When we can enter into that thing, then, you know, we can be, talks about, you know, the sheep recognize the voice, you know what I mean? And it's not by words, but by demonstration and power, you know? And so to me, all that is the fragrance because, you know, when you're connected to the vine, by grace, you know, the fruit remains. You know what I mean? And so it's like, in this hour in particular, you know, I think it's knowing that the set time is here, right? And like the time that we've all been talking about, right? And so how do we rise to the occasion through our fellowship one with another, you know what I mean? And striving to live to the highest potential and you know, thoughts possible. You know, kind of
Let me go.
Okay.
Let's go back a little bit,
Yeah.
okay? Because really, I want to spend some time like you growing up. That's like a main point that we want to get across. Okay,
Absolutely.
So you went through something that made you question whether the Most High was real or not.
Right.
What was that experience, bro? And take me through that time.
Yeah, you know, like in my family, there wasn't a full agreement on like how to serve the Most High, or even if you know, like how serious you need to be, and this, that, and the other, right? And so I saw my parents not agreeing, and so then like in my naive mind, I was like, well, if y'all don't know, you know what I mean? then like, you know, this thing must not be real because I'm thinking that like if it's real, then like, you know, there's a blueprint and there's a way that, you know, and so I just put it to the side. You know what I mean?
What was the different points of view in your house?
They had different religious philosophies, I would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how to live and you know, I would say like how much it needs to be a presence in your life. You know what I mean? Is it something that, you know, you just have, or is it something that, you know, you dedicate your life to in a different way? You know what I mean? These different things. And so for me, it kind of, I abandoned it. You know what I mean? And even when I went back to church, it wasn't because I had some kind of revelation or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I stepped into the church, I felt something I never felt before, and then like it was like, oh, I need to find out more what this is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would literally drive 45 minutes every weekend. You know what I mean? Just
To
to
church.
go back there. Yeah. I was hungry. You know what I mean? Like couldn't explain it, but yeah.
When you first come into, this is kind of like going a little outside of a life story, but when you do first come into any type of experience, a spiritual experience, man, you be on fire for the Most High.
Yeah.
Like you really ready to battle with anybody at any
You
time.
really on the front line of the army of the Lord.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And when you catch fire like that, it separates the people who are just like going to church and then listening to the pastor versus the people who study for themselves.
Right.
And be able to dig deeper into this and get this real understanding. And is that how you were, bro, or did you lean more to the instruction of pastors?
At the first time, right, when I went back to the church, I had zeal, but not like I did later on. You know, like later on, I had a zeal where it's like you couldn't tell me nothing about nothing. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know, like in people's face and this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? But you know, it wasn't that way at first. The first time, I really just, you know, I felt something I never felt before, and I just wanted to understand what it was. You know what I mean?
Was it the love? Was it the fellowship? Or was it all the things combined?
No, it was. It literally was when I walked into the door. You know what I mean? Like I just felt something, and I never even, you know, like I didn't have a word to say what it was because I never felt it before. You know what I mean? But like I just felt something, and like I came back to feel it. You know what I mean? To like to know it. You know, and I mean I'm sure the fellowship was great and this, that, and the other, but like it happened before I stepped into the place. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I mean for real, even that stuff didn't even matter to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like, you know, I wondered what that thing was. You know what I mean? And yeah, and it never left me. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't say that was the moment where I gave my life to the Most High. You know what I mean? But like that was the turning point where I knew that like what I had discarded as not being real was real. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like what that meant and you know, does it shape my life, and you know, is it something to shape my life? Like all that stuff was later.
Right. So like we're talking around high school, right?
Yeah.
So like what was the first thing that you noticed in yourself and others when you came into the word? In high school. And what high school did you go to?
This was in California. This
okay.
was Chino and Chino Hills.
Okay, yeah, that's a legendary high school out there.
It didn't really change my life in a way, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I was still doing foolishness and this, that, and the other, you know what I mean?
Example of something you was into, just to show your growth. What was something like you were into during that lower version of yourself?
Just clown around.
Robbing.
I wasn't robbing.
I just mess with you, Amaha.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Having multiple, having you know, I think I just wasn't like, I didn't think about life as much. I think, you know what I mean. And so, yeah, I wasn't seeking the word. You know what I mean? Cause for real, I hadn't read the Bible really. You know what I mean? Like I had an experience before I read. Or before I even had an understanding.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
So it's like,
I think a lot of people have that experience.
I didn't know nothing from nothing. You know what I mean? But, so yeah, you know.
Okay. So like during this time, I mean, you going to high school. I mean, you coming in the word. I mean, you trying to come into yourself basically. Where is the like transition where you finally like, you know, fully?
Get my life fully?
Yeah.
That was during college.
Okay.
Yeah. I was probably like 22 or something like that.
So, like, what kind of early influence did you have before you got to college? Like, did like you have on your life that's going on besides church? What other influences did like you have? Like music, for example. Who's some of your favorite artists? Because I know like you're a drummer and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Legendary drummer, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
I'm gonna tell you how you are in a minute.
Hip hop had a huge influence on my life. You know, especially, you know, like KRS, X Clan.
All Smith's favorite artist.
Yeah.
X Clan.
Oh yeah, X Clan.
X Clan was like, my bros, man.
I never heard one song by
you know what's,
really?
I swear I haven't.
Oh, you know what's crazy is I listen to them again now, and I'm like, man, they were saying like I didn't even understand what they were saying. I feel them, but then like now when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, especially the way they understand vibration, right? And like how like vibration is medicine, and like the power of music and sound, right? Like like I love them on one level then, but like, you know, I listen to them now, I'm like, man, like these brothers are on a whole level.
Wow. They probably was speaking to like our inner souls or something, man. And we really didn't even understand because they was conscious, but a lot of rap was conscious.
Like African Bambaataa, they were real like super conscious.
But even hardcore rap, like the rap that street people listen to right now, like they would still be listening to Public Enemy.
Oh yeah.
They would be listening, you know, just all type of conscious rap was in. It was just like
mainstream.
hard. Yeah, it had a lot of
for real.
Yeah, it was just social commentary. You didn't have all of these just different types of rap for real.
Yeah.
It was like that's what it was. You know, you had some rap about kicking it, but other stuff we definitely had social commentary.
Sure.
And then getting back to our like that Africa was like real major for like we was wearing African medallions and that was just like really the thing to vibe off of.
Right.
They put an end to all of that real quick with damn it, Gangsta, Ice Cube, and NWA came out, which I fell in love with. You feel me? Like that was it. And they also had a form of social commentary, but it was more street. But they was commenting on the type of shit that they was seeing in their neighborhoods and the police and whatever it was. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, to me, I feel like music always is like a catalyst for what time is actually happening. I mean, so around what time years are we talking about now when it comes to you transition from high school to college? Is this 90s yet?
Yeah, 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, I graduated in 92. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you go in your life after you graduate? Well, no. So college, what college did you go to?
Went to a couple. Went to Cal State Fullerton, UCLA, and UC up in Cincinnati.
Wow. So I mean, like those are two different like places on the map. Like, what kind of brought you to UC? Was it more of like what you were studying and like?
Yeah, it was what I was studying and
what were your majors?
At that time, it was probably exercise physiology.
Exercise.
Yeah. I was big into working out.
What? Okay.
Yeah. So that was probably what it was then.
Okay. So when you transition to UC, I mean, like you still have probably like a small. I mean, you know, like you have a little bit of God's armor at that point in time because I mean, like you studying the word, but you also like you interested in your own life. So you come to UC. I mean, like, what made you pick Cincinnati out of all the places to go to?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't remember.
From Cali all the way to UC?
Well, I mean, I came back home. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Okay.
So then when I get back home,
Okay.
Yeah, I chose UC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So on UC, are you still doing sports medicine? Like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like you working out during that time. What other things are you into during that time? Because, you know, like you are now, you know, a very polarizing figure in the community. Was there anything that got you kind of started in that?
Later on. I want to say, UC was when I rededicated my life, you know, and then from there, you know, I would like to say I never looked back, you know what I mean, but I would say even in the last couple months, you know what I mean, I'm starting to really understand what it means to keep your hands on the plow, you know, so, but it's been, you know, a 20-some year journey, right, to decrease, to increase, right, and what it means to give my life to humanity, and things of that nature. So
in 1998, Brother Hiley introduced you to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church.
Right.
So, like, how instrumental was he in your fabric of who you are today?
Yeah, I would say very instrumental as far as bringing me to the church, right? Like, I was already on the walk by then, but I had the same experience in the church that I had at the church when I was 16, right? And so that's how I knew, you know what I mean, that like, okay, like this is where I need to be. You know what I mean? So that part was, you know, couldn't be more instrumental than that, you know?
He was in California in the 80s, late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah.
So, bro, I mean, that was like right around the time when, I mean, NWA, Ice Cube, and you was in LA?
Yeah.
So, what was the climate like? I mean, because were you out there during the Rodney King time?
Yeah.
Because you got activism in you, bro. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
I was there during that time.
Right.
OJ, right.
All that, yeah.
So, I mean, how was it? How was California in that time outside of being in church? Just with the gang banging, with the
that time was a little bit crazy, you know. Like I remember when Boys in the Hood came out, and they shot up all the theaters, including the one that we was in, and one of my
Who
friends
did?
getting shot,
Whoa.
you know what I mean? That it was the Latino gangs, you know what I mean? And so I remember that, you know, like. Yeah, it was.
Well, can you walk us through that night? Because that's a great story right there. What happened?
You know, before the movie started, some people were hanging outside and they sprayed like multiple cinemas that night. I want to say, you know, all together. I want to say across the country. You know, I mean, internet wasn't the internet back then. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to say it was more than just one cinema. You know what I mean? But definitely the opening weekend of Boys in the Hood. I want to say it was opening night. You know what I mean? That
and you were there
it
too?
was shot up. Yeah. I was inside, but yeah, I was there. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was a different time. You know, and at that time in particular, black and brown communities were at war with each other. You know what I mean? Like black on black was on war with each other. Black and brown was on war with each other. You know, and so that was a different time. And that was really you know, my math might be a little bit. I want to say that was before Tupac, and Tupac, you know, bringing more peace and things like that nature. You know what I mean? Like I want to say that was before that.
Definitely.
That was probably like 90, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so being out in California and being from Ohio, where we don't do any of that, bro. Right. And to even like take you further away from that type of just vibe. I mean, you coming from Centerville, right, and then moving to California. Were you living in that type of neighborhood environment where that type of stuff was going on, or you just happened to be in the crossfire when the Boys in the Hood shooting stuff went on?
When we first moved there, we stayed in a hotel that was in probably a little bit worse neighborhood, but when we had our house, it wasn't a bad neighborhood, but the school was.
Why'd y'all move there?
My dad got a job.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I remember. You know, it was a different world for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not understanding the animosity, you know, between people. You know what I mean? Like I've had black consciousness for a long time. You know what I mean? But I've never seen that. Well, I'm not gonna say I've never seen that, but like most of my life, I never saw that as you know, hating anybody else or anything like that. You know what I mean? And so I didn't understand the dynamics.
Yeah, definitely.
But during that time, did you have any friends that weren't like black or like people that weren't like Latino or of brown descent?
Yeah. I mean, I had all types of friends. Yeah.
So after that event happened, did that change your dynamic on how you dealt with them, or did that kind of divide the neighborhood in a sense?
That hit close to home. I mean, so it didn't change my relationships, but it definitely, well, I would say it didn't change like who I was friends with, but I would say it deepened relationships with those that were there or had that experience or were close to that experience, you know? That deepened for sure.
Wow.
You know? Yeah.
Wow. To me, that's amazing.
Yeah, that is, bro.
That is amazing. So, like, thank God you made it out of that. So, I mean, would you say that kind of played a part in the reason you came back in a way?
Nah, because that was before we even went to, I'm going to say that was still in high school when that happened. Yeah, I mean, it's a different atmosphere. I mean, you know, during that time, you know, people had parties where it would be a house party, you know what I mean? Everybody would come and dance, and you know what I mean? Like, that was the vibe, you know what I mean? But they would get shot up, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like that was part of the reality, you know? That was always something that, you know, that could happen or would happen.
Gotta
you
be
know
mindful,
what I mean?
baby.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But the vibe was different. I mean, like that, you know, what is his name? Like, was it L.A. Breed or something like there was like this certain type of, you know, like that was like you went to houses to dance, and like it was just a different vibe, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
For sure.
That's cool. So now we're back at UC after you. Bro, it's somebody legend, bro. It'd be some story that's like, yeah, so this got shot up. And then, back to the church. Like, okay. No, I mean, because it's empowering for people to hear your journey, because there are people that haven't made it to where, you know, they could potentially be, because they're thinking that their life is in that capsize of that moment. So for you to tell that story is going to be empowering for someone else on the way. So, but also, I mean, you got baptized by somebody very, very legendary, and you got it done on Sellassie'S Day.
Right.
Yeah. So, can you walk us through that and exactly what was so special about Sellassie'S Day?
So within the church, there's different days, and so the church that I got baptized in was Sellassie's, and so and that day was in July.
July 17th.
Yeah. You did your research, yeah. And so
Swear, get my
Sorry.
point. Swear, get my point, Swear. Get my point.
Hey, hold on, man.
So
He's
because of
here
that,
turn
you
around and wink. Trying to tell me he's major, man.
Yeah, I am. I'm a big
Great
job in
job.
the Lord.
Honestly, great job, bro.
I'm being
so
silly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So yeah, so yeah, that's how. So that, like, there's 2 days a year that like it's big for Sellassie's, and so like that was one, and that day also is about the story of Abraham, when Abraham was met by the Holy Trinity. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's what it's about.
So is that the name? But I mean, is that the reason why you like gravitate toward the name, or yeah?
Yeah, that was the name I was given, you know, and it took me a while. It means the gift of God, right? Like, which means like the frankincense, the gold, and the myrrh that was given unto Christ at his birth. Like, that's what my name means, you know. And so it took a while for me to live into it, you know. But yeah. So it was given, and it took a while before it to be who I am.
Because like the emperor, which is Halal,
Sellassie's first.
yeah. One of his kids was named that, and then there was another kid named that. It was Yaqub Amar Selassie.
Right.
But like, to me, I mean, just to me doing research, he kind of like the Tupac of like religion, because like a lot of people were saying he was dead, and then like he like wasn't dead, and he ended up getting buried like later on. But to me, it's super dope if you think about it, because his real name was Rastafarian, right? So that's really where the distinction come from, and he's an Ethiopian emperor. So is that really the connection that you have with the Rastafarian connection as well?
Yeah, I think, you know, Ras means head, Tafari means creator, you know, and when I started the journey to give my life unto the Most High, you know, I was shown I had locks before, but I had cut them off, and then I was shown to grow my locks and to grow my beard, you know, and I didn't understand why. I didn't have the connection, but it's interesting because in college I had learned about Rastafarianism in a class, you know what I mean, but never put two and two together. You know, I was introduced to Bob Marley when I was young, but you know what I mean, but I never put two and two together. And then, you know, the more I started the journey, you know, the more I started to understand the significance of Ethiopia, you know what I mean, as being the cradle of civilization.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And especially within Christianity, you know, we're always taught that Christianity was a white man's religion, or this, that, and the other, not knowing that even the first couple of bishops, you know what I mean, came from Northern Africa, right?
Exactly.
So Ethiopia is an island of Christianity within the sea of Islam, right? And there's deep roots, first country mentioned in the Bible, right? And so, I think it's, you know, about knowing heritage and knowing something authentic. And like kind of to move it forward a little bit, it's like, you know, the more, you know, I've witnessed things there, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's something beyond men and people, you know what I mean? Because
I seen you feeding a hyena.
Yeah. Yeah. That was in Harar.
Okay.
Which is actually, so I don't know if you guys know, but the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, right? When he was escaping from Mecca, he went to Ethiopia, and the king of the time gave him the land of Harar to as a place for him. You know what I mean? And so Harar has 99 mosques for each attribute of Allah. You know what I mean? And so so Ethiopia, that's why the Quran says don't harm the Ethiopians. You know what I mean? And so Ethiopia comes from Queen of Sheba and Solomon, right, in the Old Testament, and then was there at Pentecost, and so it's like had the Old Testament and the New Testament, because they were proselytes in the Old Testament. Had in the New Testament is known as indigenous to Jerusalem, and so there's a deep history,
Absolutely, such as the Holy Pibby, which is like the Black Bible. There's other things in there, so such as like Garveyism spoke highly of Ethiopians as well. So it's like that Pan-Africanism is enrooted there. So I mean, like a lot of roads go through Ethiopia. So
sure.
So what was the road that led you actually venturing off to Ethiopia? And how long did you spend there?
Man, I've been there multiple times. My first time I was there for like a month, something like that. You know what I mean? Then the second time I lived there almost a year, and then I've been back.
What was the first experience like moving from, essentially, like you a kid from Dayton. I mean, if you want to say that, what I mean? To move already to California, to be in the middle of these shootouts and like that, and move back to here, and then go to school, and then to get the the knowledge of God that powers you or arms you to be able to take that leap of faith. I mean, there's a lot of people who won't even go to Centerville because they feel like they'll get pulled up by the police.
Right.
For you to make that journey and that leap, like what was like that very first experience like for you?
It was, I would say like refreshing. You know what I mean? You don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? And to be in a space where everything was black, first of all, and to visit the churches, and by this point I was already participating in the church services as far as like drumming and singing and things like that, and it just felt like home. You know what I mean? And I came back a year later with the intention of actually going to seminary. And I had to get permission from the patriarch at the time, and it was New Year's Day, and I was at the called the Beta Connect, like like his compound, and I remember seeing some of the people that came out of the seminary, and they seemed, it was judgmental, but they seemed more interested in themselves and like how people saw them than they were of like
the people,
the word and the people. And so then I was like, you know what, like I need to learn something else first. I can always go to seminary. So I ended up going down south and teaching at a school. You know what I mean? That I could
down south in America or down south?
No, down south in Ethiopia.
Okay.
Right, so that I could learn how to serve. You know what I mean, and how to walk and how to move with the people. You know what I mean? Because I think that's the most important thing. And so it's like, so I went down there instead. You know what I mean?
What was the language barrier like when you first went there? Was it pretty much a lot of people spoke English, or did you learn a lot before you went down there?
I learned wow. Down south, they speak English, but not as much as they do in the capital of Addis. But I definitely learned a lot more when I was down there. It was Yeah, definitely learned a lot more, I would say.
So while you was there, like I told you before, you are a legendary drummer. I don't care what you say, because you were what's it called, the Mesmer?
Yeah, Mesmer.
Yeah. So and you were noticeably famous all the way in Ohio from you being on Ethiopian telecast. So to me, that's legendary. I mean, for somebody, because first of all, somebody from Dayton watching, not even know you were in there, like they had to tell you, like, yo, did you know you on Mesmer? You was like, oh, I had no idea.
Wow.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like
humbleness, man.
Well, you know, like I my elders taught me not to touch the anointing, right, and not to think of ourselves, you
right?
Know? And so because it's all grace, you know,
right?
So yeah, you know, the interesting thing about me, I think, is that you know, by grace, I've had a lot of amazing experiences, but I don't think about it. You know what I mean? Right. Like it happened that night. The next day, it's just let's get back to work. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to separate myself from the flow.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to think that I've done anything by my own whatever. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I don't ponder. You know what I mean? I'm thankful for the moments. I'm thankful for the grace, and I'm thankful for the opportunity. You know what I mean? Because it's definitely greater than who I am as a person, you know what I mean? Because that's how you testify to the grace and to the redemption, you know what I mean? That, you know, sin became sin for us, you know? And so it's like, I witness, you know what I mean? Like when ultimately it boils down to it, it's like, all I can do is talk of the goodness and the mercy, you know?
Right. So, another thing you did with Legendary was in 2009, you had leaders from Ethiopia, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Kenya communities actually working together towards entering a beloved community and bringing together people from Dayton, African leaders. Yeah, I did my research, sir.
Hey, like you did research more than I can remember. I'm like, I remember that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man. That was with Migway.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's wild.
What is Migway, by the way?
Oh, Migway Kamimia, he was with the American Friends Society, right? And at that time, we were working towards canceling Africa's debt. You know what I mean? Like a lot of debt in Africa is the result of neocolonialism, and they try to keep taxing. And so we were working towards eliminating the debt. With some of it, I can't remember the number, but some countries either got their debt released or something like that during that process. So yeah, it was interesting because I was already starting to do work with the King celebration at that time.
Yeah, the Martin Luther King celebration.
Yeah. And but at that time, you know, the African community wasn't as involved, right? And so it was like, you know, we're kind of moving towards the same thing, and so how to bring it together, you know. And I can't remember the year, but that might have been the same time that, like, you know, I think that was before, you know. But like one of the most transformational things in my life, I think, was reading King's first book, A Stride Towards Freedom, where he made the equation that agape love was community. And the reason that stood out to me was that I was already in the community talking about love and forgiveness, because I didn't have the words for it like I do now, but I just knew that we were greater together, and that it was a lack of forgiveness towards each other that didn't allow us to move in a way, like now I would say, you know, release our gifts and talents, but back then I didn't have that language, right? And so I was already in the community talking about this, and then he came with the book that said agape love is community. So I was like, wait, I've been talking about agape love, right? So like, you know, what's this connection? And then I realized that, you know, for agape love to be community, you know, he was saying that Christ is many members but one body, right? And so when I started to understand that I was like, okay, so this whole time what I've been doing has actually been community development, or like something to do with community. And that's what shifted my whole thing. And I was like, okay, I want to take every class, read every book. I was just hungry to understand like what community was, and that was like, you know,
the birth of.
Yeah, exactly. That was the shift. You know what I mean? Because I was already kind of doing some of the work, but that was the shift that like helped me understand what I was already doing, and then giving me a vision of what can be. Right. You know, and so that's what started my journey.
So to me, from that changed like that really gave you the brain of community and it all being like really a life work.
Yeah.
But you spoke on the Redefining Life project, changing your approach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Boy,
So-
I forgot about that. You just I got contact some people after this though, man. Yeah.
Word. So who spearheaded that and how so did it change your approach?
Man, you know what? I don't want to say names because I won't do it justice. I can't remember everybody's name, you know. But how it changed my approach was that while I was down south in Ethiopia, I had worked with some of my friends down there, and we had started a program for street kids. And we had, distributed. I had made we had got a clothes shipped from here to the capital. We gave some to an orphanage, and then we sent some down, put some in Sash, and then we gave some out at the school. And then in that time, we were looking to get a house that, because a lot of street kids, they, some would still go to school. Like they would go to school half a day, and they would be in the street half a day, all these things, right? So we wanted to what kind of support can we provide them that they can, fully step into education and things like that. And so I had used a lot of my friends that were around the church, right? Because of their heart and their intention. But what I didn't understand is that, like, there was some organizational, like, expertise that, like, they didn't have, And so when I come back to America, it was hard to hold it because, I hadn't done capacity building to, like, really help develop some of these skills and talents. And I really didn't even fully have it either, you know? And so, so Redefining Life was more college students.
Yeah.
And I started to see that, like, when it comes to building capacity, you need to have college students involved. They don't got to run the whole thing, but, you need people who have different expertise, different experiences. And so that's what kind of showed me, like how to do development. Yeah.
So I saw in 2000, you had called on the Rastafarian Strong Movement to help DC. It was for some project going on. I think it's a group I think it's the Million Rastafarians group. The Million Rastafarian.
I don't remember that. Yeah.
But yeah, he did that, y'all.
Let me ask you something, bro. This is outside, but man, when I get somebody like you on here, bro, I just want to kind of go a little bit deeper. Bro, the meaning of life. Like, how do you see the meaning of life for man?
Yeah, that's a great question. My realist answer is I don't ponder it. And I say that to say it's like I give my life, like my ultimate goal in life is to be a friend to humanity, right? Like I want to give my life into the service of others, right? I want to be a bridge that enables community to flourish, to thrive, right?
In what way?
How to release the gifts and talents in the community, I feel that even in Dayton, there's cliques, there's all these things that's hindering us from doing what we already have right now. And everybody's looking outwardly saying, oh, when we get this, no, we got it right here. We haven't utilized what we have here to even know what we don't have. You know what I mean? And it's like how we bring that together, I think, is critical. Because like when I say we are the ones we've been waiting for, you know what I mean? Like that is real. You know what I mean? And like it even reminds me sometimes like how real that really is. You know what I mean?
Man,
like,
I look for things that I have in my hand sometimes. I mean, literally. Like I'll be looking around for example, your phone.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever had it on you somewhere and you looking everywhere for your phone?
It's right there in your hand.
And it's right, it's in your hand or in your pocket or it's right there with you so much. And that is like an illustration about what you're talking about. Like we got everything that we need right here, but you don't use what you got in a meditation session. The other day I'm trying to think about how I can progress. How we can progress, how progression can occur, right? And I was just told, like, just work on what you got, bro. Work on what you got.
Yeah.
You feel me? You're trying to gain something that you already have. As an example with food, we damn near kill ourselves and go broke for things that'll kill us rather than getting what's good for us for free.
Yeah.
Had we just planted our own food, we would be eating much more healthy, and we would not be eating for free to a certain extent.
Yeah, we be living out the land.
You gotta work for it. Exactly.
Right.
And I think that we do that with a lot of things, though. You know, and so I'm kind of just piggybacking off of your point, which I really agree. But when we dealing with life, like you want to help people, but the question kind of is like, help them to do what? And you said release their gifts and talents.
Yeah. Like to me, you know, your gifts are actually not for you; they're for me. You know what I mean?
They
And
are.
so,
Yes, they
it's
are.
like,
Wow.
Yes, they are.
That's
so,
profound.
Like, how do I get you
Yes.
to be in your full potential? But see, to get to that space, right? We gotta know our interdependence.
I've
right?
never
Because
thought of that,
if
too.
we,
It is.
Get thanks, yeah, because
Well, the Legendary People podcast, you have thought of that, because what we tell our guests is this interview is not for you. This story is to inspire others to reach deep down, see what you've been through, and realize they can come out of it and be a legend themselves, like Amaha one day. So this thing that we're doing
This is
here is exactly what he's talking about.
He spent the block for me. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
All day. But continue.
but you got me thinking though that like you know, I think it's you know, part of it is realizing the humanity in each other, right? Or you could say even the divinity. You know what I mean? That like the gifts and talents, right? How we bring those up. But to me, I think the underlying thing is knowing our interdependence, right? Like are we interdependent by nature, or are we not? You know, science already shows that we are. I think COVID shows that we are. You know what I mean? But like,
What's
do we know
interdependent?
Ubuntu? Interdependence means like King would call it the single garment of destiny, right? That like we have a shared future, regardless if we want to acknowledge it or not. You know what I mean? But like we can intentionally co-create a shared future. You know what I mean? But either way, we got a shared future as human beings on the rock we call Earth, right?
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like how we're releasing the gifts and talents, and you know, I think life is like the catalyst, right? Like the more that we're walking in love, the more we release the gifts and talents in the community. That's why, you know, we need to be rooted and grounded in love, that we can comprehend with all the saints with the breadth, height, width, and depth, and be filled with the fullness of the Most High, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do we shift the atmosphere? How do we create spaces for things to flourish, you know? And so, yeah, you know, to me, like, because love is community, right? And so I think it's like we don't understand the nature of things, right? Because so to me, independence is actually the social construct, meaning the thing that is made up that we base reality off of. And interdependence is what is natural. So how we tap into what is real, you know what I mean? To then have that remove these artificial barriers that, you know, the foot recognizes the hand and the hand recognizes the toe and all of these things, then we can move on a higher accord. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And to me, I feel like that is exactly what the public school system does to our children. Is they make us to be individuals. It's individualized testing. And you go to other places, it is dependent on everybody else doing good, or you know, for instance, like we have a class project, but the class project somewhere else will be the full term of a class, and you hit the nail right on the head to me when it comes to that, because nothing's more important than family, your ancestors, and then you intertwine those two, you know what I'm saying, together, which is also a part of your work as well. Because how messed up was it when Kroger's closed down on Gettysburg?
Man, I mean, that was our Kroger. So, I mean, like that.
But
that
it was a great thing.
A serious shift. And to be honest, like, I didn't even realize how big of a deal that was at the time. Like, I understood how it affected us. Yeah. But I didn't, like, you know, there was no language like food apartheid or food desert back then, you know what I mean? And so it was like, well, damn, it's closed. You know what I mean? And like,
but like to kind of go where you going, where what you said, increase and decrease.
Oh, increase and decrease. Yeah.
Increase and decrease.
Yeah.
But every time somebody takes something away from us, okay, this is now our opportunity to do this thing for ourselves.
Absolutely.
And where would Gem City Market, where would the necessity, okay, for Gem City Market come from had they not got up out our way?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's real. You know, like, yeah, I think that's real. And, you know, sometimes, you know, you go through something to get to a more place of self-determination.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean? But at the time, you know, I mean, back then, I wasn't deep into, like, the organizing community, right? But, like, I don't remember conversations where it was like, oh, let's open up our own grocery store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, damn, we got to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? And so, but now I can see how that like laid the foundation, you know what I mean? Especially, I mean, I don't think people thought it was going to be, 20 years or whatever was without a grocery store in that place, you know? Or in the area, period, right? And so,
The one on, well, Siebenthaler was still there.
yeah, Siebenthaler, yeah, I would say Siebenthaler was there. You know what I mean? Like,
But I have a study on how far it takes somebody to go on the bus to get there, and they literally have to do 2 different transfers in order to get back that way.
right.
It was ridiculous.
Man, it was,
Right.
I mean, you definitely came through and gave what was needed. You know, I mean, it's just perfect. Like, it's the Most High, bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? In the process, you can't discount the process of anything. Like, all of these things have to happen to you. Like, for example, man, with the whole segregation thing. Segregation was bad because the abuse that brothers and sisters was taking with mixed in, like all of that type of stuff was happening to us. But also, if we flip the other coin, if we could have kept some of that mind frame that we have to do for ourselves, don't depend on anybody else, and let's get this bunker mentality that we are doing for ourselves. And while we're doing for ourselves, by the way, we're not going to treat you nasty. You're welcome to come on in and get what we got to sell.
Exactly.
Right?
yeah.
With that type of situation, though it was bad, it's called the seed of mutual benefit with Dr. Napoleon Hill.
There you
Well, I
go,
don't know
Swig.
if he's a
There you
doctor
go,
or not,
Swig.
but-
Get you a bucket in.
Oh, well, it's real.
Yeah,
I
word.
mean, it's the seed of mutual benefit in
Right.
any situation, bro. Although it may seem bad, if you really want to embrace a situation, you find what's good in there, and then you flip that to be an advantage for you one way or another. And I think that when we deal with Kroger's and these words that we're saying are so powerful, I don't want us to start looking at anything as though it was bad for us. Because it's actually all good. It's either a lesson or a blessing.
Right.
It is. And I do feel like us losing Kroger's, and then just, it was something else that happened too.
All these, but I mean, that was later. So,
Right.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
these little stepping stones, while it was going up here or going down, whatever which way we looking at it, it was bringing you to your this part of your becoming, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you,
Like taking
that
the
was
training wheels
sparking these
off.
ideas in your mind. Yeah, you over here sharpening yourself to be able to take on your greatest community project yet. This meaningful situation, bro, which is so major. So go ahead,
Yeah.
but I just
It's interesting that you say that, you know, and I think like
Perfectly worded as well.
part of the, you know, this is gonna sound, you know, I want to make sure I word this
Speak
right.
freely.
nah,
Big.
go ahead.
I want to make sure I give respect.
Okay.
You know
Right,
what I mean?
right, for sure.
But it was the tragic murder of John Crawford.
Absolutely.
Right? That actually birthed the market.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I say that because it was that was the community's wake up call of just like, you know, we need to start self-determining our future together. You know what I mean? And coming together, right? And then when we had some of the initial meetings about, you know, lack of opportunity in Dayton, you know what I mean? It was the group. it was the networks from John Crawford that was our email list, you know what I mean, that we sent out to have that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So like, and a lot of the initial people that was involved was people that had already gathered from you know, the tragic killing of John Crawford, because the thing that I learned during that experience was you need to have a dance between protest and community development, right? Like we were protest, but we didn't have anything in the community for people to walk in or to do together.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and you need that dance back and forth, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I learned that during that time, you know what I mean? So
Some of the notable people, which is like Erica Bruton. She was instrumental in the Miami Valley Organization.
my organizing collaborative.
Yep, there you go. Of course, one of our guests and one of the friends of the show, Kenya Baker, of course.
No, Swahili.
Leela Klein, which is with the co-op Dayton. To me, those were great people as well, but I don't think we could have done it without the Moving Ohio Forward grant. Also, which the Ohio Legal Assistance Foundation helped us, which is called OLAF. So, but I want to say about that, like, having a legal team to help you during the process of that is probably the
game changer. I'm telling you, man.
No. I'm about to say that. So, like, what was that for you in this project?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't even fully realize at the time, like the significance of it until later. You know what I mean? But like having, like, you know, I have been organizing for a little while now. When we had that, and what it enabled us to do was that, like, we would imagine, hey, we need this, and then the legal team would be like, okay, like, this is how we build the structure to get that. You know what I mean? And like, so merging like law with community organizing is a game changer in the community. You know, hands down. You know what I mean? So like Matt and everybody at Able. Yeah, we couldn't have done it without them, you know, and that is a crucial, critical link, you know, especially when you have lawyers that are you know, pro humanity and pro community, and to be honest, if I knew now what lawyers could do back then, I would have gone to law school. I say it often, you know what I mean? Like I didn't understand what law was, you know what I mean, and how it works, you know what I mean, but hands down, I would have been a lawyer. You know what I mean? And some people say, well, you can still go now. Well, you know, possibly, you know what I mean? But like, but
are you working on your PhD right now for your sociology?
Yeah. You know what I mean? But you
gonna throw that on his plate too.
I didn't understand, you know, like the power of that, and like the type of like community lawyering, what they call it, right? Like community, like lawyers that are working to develop policy and structures, you know what I mean? And structure, you know, if I put on my sociology head cap, is ideology plus resources. So we have an idea, and then we put resources to make it happen. So like when we're looking at Dayton and underdevelopment, it was the idea that one group of human beings was greater than the other, which is false, right? But then I disinvest in those communities, right, to make something false real. You know what I mean? That we have area that was underdeveloped for, you know, 50, 60 years. You know what I mean? And so it's like, so that's why I keep going back to the underlying assumption, right? Because we have to know we're interdependent in a single garment of destiny, you know? Like something like humanity 2.0 or 3.0, right? Because it's like ultimately, I'm pro-black, you know what I mean? But I'm pro-human as well. And I know that like, black and brown people of color have been the brunt, and so we were coming to spearhead, you know what I mean? But it's like it's a human movement, you know what I mean? It's like we all need each other, and we need to break free from the construct of race itself, right? Because that itself is a man-made label, you know what I mean? And so that's what I talk about when I talk about reimagining blackness, right? And what it means to be black, because you know, we were collective by nature, you know, just Ubuntu, I am because you are, you know what I mean? And so it's like, it's returning to our first estate, you know, because it was white imagination that created race. It was white imagination that said one group of human beings was greater than the other, right? And so it's like, it's black imagination that shows like, no, human beings are human beings, you know what I mean? On this planet that we call Earth, you know what I mean? And so that's part of the redemption. And even King talks about it when he talks about the black church is going to be the saving grace for America, you know what I mean? Because like, it's different like I like watching, you know, Eyes on the Prize and civil rights things, you know, and you see the role that the church played, and like, you know, it wasn't just a go to church, feel good, and come home. It was like, no, like we leaned on the Lord to get us through. It was Exodus, you know what I mean? It was like how to get out of bondage, how to get of second-class citizenship, right? All of these things. And so it's a different current, a different expectation, a different zeal, you know what I mean? When it's like, yeah, you know, truth crushed the earth, gonna rise again, like they say, right? And so it's like how to really know that, you know, justice and judgment is the habitation of his throne, you know what I mean? And mercy and truth gonna go before his face, right? So you know, so yeah, I ramble.
No, you all good. But yeah, so to me, like you sound like a very strong brother that I heard speak when I was I was researching you. His name is Baba Wakissa. So
Baba Wakissa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like what's your affiliation with him?
He one of my elders, you know what I mean? Like, he helped me really understand the notion between warriors, healers, and builders, right? How we need all three in the community, you know what I mean? Like some are the warriors, some are the healers, and some are the builders, right? And we need all three. One is not greater than the other, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, he helped me out a lot with that, you know?
All right. So, like, what did it feel like when y'all broke ground on the Gem City Market? Because I mean, it was about a year and a half after y'all broke ground on it. Because I mean, I think the original shoot was to be by the next Thanksgiving, but it kind of drug a little longer than that. What was it like to finally have that festival together with the legendary DJ Skano, by the way, was down there?
Oh, you mean when we opened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Or
breaking ground is the starting of the building of it.
Right.
yeah, well, yeah, when you actually put the show, then they take the picture of that.
Take a point.
Yeah. Let's start there. I mean, I'm being honest.
Right. No, that's real. You know, and
Just put it in the ground.
It was an amazing day because it was like, you know, it was becoming more real. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't an idea anymore. You know what I mean? Like it was a little tangible. You know what I mean? And it's interesting because that day, right? Like normally, I think tradition is, you know, you have a couple quote unquote leaders, politicians, and they put their shovel in the ground and that's it. You know what I mean? But like we knew that like we did this together, and so we wouldn't have the opportunity for everybody to have their shovel, to know that like, yo, we did this together, right? And I think that's important to go back what you was talking about a little earlier, right? Is that like, to me, Dayton has shifted. Right, as far as like our belief of what is possible and our belief that change is possible, you know what I mean? And I think the market played a catalyst in that because, you know, at the time, you know, some believed, some didn't believe, and this, that, and the other. But now that we've seen it, it's like what is next? What else can we do? And so it shifted. They're like, yo, things are possible. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, we have the power, right? And I would say power as like our ability to transform our lived environment. You know, like we have the power to make changes. We have the power to self-determine the direction of our community. We didn't have that before, you know, and so like now I see hope in the air. You can cut it with a knife. You know? People are doing all kinds of amazing projects, and I'm not saying that the market was a catalyst of that, but the market, I think, is another example of what is possible. You know what I mean? When people come together, you know what I mean, that we're greater together than we are by ourselves. You know what I mean? So yeah, the groundbreaking was a beautiful. A beautiful day, you know what I mean? The opening of the market was like that day for real was like a blur, man. It was like it's hard to even like conceive, you know.
Was the opening day? The opening day of Amaha?
You know what I mean?
Was any nervousness in it? Like
I mean, I'm sure there was a little bit, but not really a whole lot. You know what I mean? Like
he was prepared.
You know, like you know, like I think our opening ceremony, you know, I really, you know, I'm sure there was some.
Do you remember the first thing somebody bought in there, bro?
Who was it? It was you know, we had tried to there's someone who did a lot of volunteer work, and so we wanted them to be the first customer, but it ended up being somebody else. I can't remember what it is.
it probably was Smitty's testing.
But you know what? That's just a point in how you rolling. You don't know. I don't know who my first customer was, but that's good because that means we've been like taking care of business.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
No, but it was a day of celebration for us all, you know, and I think one of the keys for the market and for everything is participation. You know, and really participant democracy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like how we can influence the direction. So like when it comes to naming the market, you know what I mean? Like that was a community conversation, you know what I mean? And then like when we got all the answers, we put them all up in a room, and then we piece together different ideas and we put it back out to the community. Okay, this is what we're hearing. Does this resonate? You know what I mean? And then we got the go-ahead, so it became the Gem City Market, you know? When it came to the mission statement, I remember Itana, you know what I mean? Like she led this process where we broke up into 1,000, not 1,000, but like a whole bunch of different rooms in a mega church, right? And everybody had their ideas of what the mission statements would be, and then we put together, you know, our architecture, you know what I mean? Like we went out all at the community. So all these processes, like the community had a role. So now when you get to the market, you can see, you know, I can see all kinds of decisions that were made by different community members, and they can see their own decisions, and that's a part of realizing our power, right?
That's,
you know
legendary,
I mean?
man.
Like how we shift from being consumers to owners, how we can shift to being like recipients to creators, you know, it's like it's a mindset, it's a shift, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying, that like we've been changed, you know what I mean? It's like we believe more. I think we have, you know, we still got issues and obstacles, but I think we believe more in the power of each other, and I think like there's more healing conversations of like how we heal these historical wounds that we can, you know, emerge. I used to say a shared future from divided past, but I don't anymore, because I think we have a shared future regardless, but I think like you know, we're doing the healing work that is necessary for us to you know, release from the trauma and really, you know, be like the Voltron or the Transformer in this hour, you know what I mean? As these pieces come together, and from a Christian perspective, that to me is what Christ is, right? And it's like I think we dismiss what Christ did, you know what I mean? Because everybody wants it up here, but doesn't realize what was given on earth, you know what I mean? And so it's like, yo, we're many members in one body, fitly joined and compacted by what every joint supplies. That to me explains interdependence, right? It explains the nature of how we are together. But you know, when we have different churches that like don't want to communicate with each other or worried about this, that, and the other, instead of keeping our eye on the prize, you know what I mean? But yeah, in this hour, you know, it's like how we live out more love, because he said that a disciple is known by the love. You know, it's not about my head knowledge, not by the scriptures that I can produce, you know what I mean, but how much love, because two cannot walk unless they agree, right? And so it's like the more that I'm rooted and grounded in love, it's going to demonstrate through all the works, you know what I mean, by grace, you know what I mean? And that's the separator, because he said that the world by my unity will know that I live. Babylon will never... It's confusion. It will never bring unity. The unity that God gave in Christ, you know what I mean, is beyond compare. And we haven't even fully begun to tap into that, you know what I mean, because we haven't acknowledged the free gift that's been given to all men, you know what I mean? And so those that know have a greater responsibility to live that out.
What is the free
practice?
gift that was given to all men, bro?
I'll say choice.
The free gift is the grace, you know what I mean, that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities, and the chastisement of my peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed, you know what I mean? And so to me, it's you know, that redeeming grace is something that like I can't, like I, you know, even if I had the ability to get myself to the edge of the door, I do not have the power to enter into the door, you know what I mean? That's that grace, that unmerited favor, you know what I mean, that to me is the greatest gift, you know what I mean, given amongst humanity. But to me, it's like, you know, regardless of our religion, regardless of our spirituality, you know what I mean, it's like in this hour, we're all learning how to walk deeper inside of spirit.
Let me ask you, bro, do you think that the Most High gets angry with man?
Good question. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and if you know, the Most High is all knowing in these things, and he knows our end from the beginning and all these things, you know what I mean? And if there was a set time,
he couldn't be angry about anything.
Then you know, the Most High knew the process to get to where we are now. You know what I mean?
And anger is a thing of surprise, basically. I mean, you didn't know something was going to happen, and when it did happen, you didn't like it.
And
so now you're mad about it. But the Most High is, And so I'm glad you said that, because this, what I'm building with you right now, bro, nobody else got this. But I just want to kind of just hear your thoughts on these things. No right or wrong answer.
Right,
Ain't no gotcha.
Right.
This is just we philosophizing, basically, right?
Yeah.
So, does the Most High know everything that's going to happen before it happens? Or do we have free will and he observes what's going on and then responds accordingly?
You know, like, my honest answer is because I don't know if I'll ever know that answer for sure.
For sure.
I don't ponder it.
Right.
And
Wow.
and
I love
the
it.
reason why is like I know something's out. Like, I'm pursuing this thing, you know, and it's like I you know, look, I might crawl, it might be ugly by the time I talk that line, you know what I mean? But like, I'm pressing towards that.
Yeah.
And so I don't you know, I don't ponder it, and it's probably because I don't I don't know if I'll ever know
The answer to that. No,
you know, but
I-
I do think there is, you know, maybe I do on some levels, like a deeper thing I don't think about, because I do believe there's a set time, you know, and
Set time to pass or go
yeah,
to
like
the
a
next.
set time, a time that he places in his power. I mean, like, for me right now, like a Genesis. You know what I mean? It's like we're not on the defense no more. We're on the offense on the earth. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like those that are striving to be pro-human, those that are striving, like it says, the sons and it says that creation groans for the return of the sons and daughters, right? And so it's like those that acknowledge that, like, not only are we connected amongst each other, but we're connected to the plants, and like, you know, like we're impacting, you know, the global situation. You know what I mean? It's like those that are acknowledging those things are being gathered together. You know what I mean? And when he talks about building an alternative space, or, you know, like there's a quote where it says don't try to fight against the current system, but make something alternative so compelling that it will make the old obsolete. You know what I mean? And that's where I think we're at right now. You know what I mean? It's like what are we going to build together? You know what I mean? Like, what is the community that we want to work, live, and play in? Now we're going to leverage our resources to make it happen. And, you know, and really do it.
So
know what I
you
mean?
would
The
say
practice of it.
creativity over being competitive.
I want
100%, 1,000%.
Thank you, man.
No competition.
No
You know what I
competition.
mean? Because
There's
like,
no-
what,
there's no
what we competing
competition.
against? We're competing
Right.
against ourselves.
There's no, I mean, what my creativity is all I need.
I want to interject.
Go ahead, my fault.
To me, I feel like, you know, I'm saying I feel this is my views. It's not the views of the Legendary People podcast.
Yeah, no doubt.
But to me, I feel like God being all-seeing, he knows everything. But there's still those perversions of man. I feel like there'll still be the anomalies. Like, you can give man the tools to create things that are unfathomable, because I mean, like, we have other things that are perversions of man. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, like, you can use a knife to cut dinner for your family. You can use it to kill your family. So I feel like there's all those perversions of man that where God has some, as the Miko say, some straightening, right? So there's all gonna be some straightening out there for people who think you slicker than slick. There's always checks and balances to everything. You think you slicker than slick with the law, you end up in prison. You think you slicker than slick than God, you can see where you end up there. So to me, I feel like he's an all-seeing God, and he got.
He
some
knows
straightening.
what you're gonna do before you do it.
I feel like I would say an all-seeing God does see everything, but I think him being like him.
So, well, let me ask you.
No,
Did the Most High know that Adam? Did he know that Satan was going to tempt Adam and Eve with this fruit before?
Yes.
The Bible.
He brought him here.
The
Like,
Bible really doesn't say so.
he could crush him at any point.
Yeah, but
he keeps him around for his. He keeps him around for certain things, such as my favorite story in the Bible, which is Job. He allowed him to do that to prove a point. So
yeah,
everything
but the
had
point-
checks and balances.
the
Everything.
Point, but the point would now be that man is forever immersed in this sin, and man is forever being, punished it to some extent. So it's hard for me to just say like he did that just to see what was going to happen, because it's having an everlasting effect on mankind for right now. And so I don't know. I mean, like when we dealing with the Most High, I'm so careful to separate the Most High from anything else. And whether that be sacred text, whether that be somebody's idea, whether it be a philosophy, or even something that I heard, like the Most High is so major. And I think that a lot of times we put the Heavenly Father in some sort of box, or some sort of, like, it's only one way to get to the Most High. And if you're not this way, damnation is there. And sometimes I think that people who haven't found that way, it could lead them to think that the Most High ain't real. So, for example, we got two different parents seeing it different paths to get to the Most High. And the child say, nobody's agreeing about this, therefore it couldn't be right. The only people that I know and respect and trust, the smartest people around me, can't agree on this. It's ain't this stuff is a fact, because there's so many fantastic tales in the Bible that we aren't seeing right now. Any type of like
Slight against God.
Any type of thing that don't fact check for you.
Okay.
It ruins all the wisdom that's in the Bible, because the Bible is full of wisdom.
Absolutely.
But then we got stories of like Job, and we got stories that of Christ doing these miracles and things like that. And these are things that definitely could have happened, you see. But the thing is, it's not happening right before our eyes right now. So we kind of put it in this box of fairy tales.
Right.
And so I don't know. I mean, I see
the good in the book.
I look at it all, you know.
It's interesting, right? So like as you're speaking, I'm thinking of the parable of the sower, right? And so they're, sowing seeds, some went on thorny ground and dry ground and all of these things, right? For a while I used to think it was about becoming the seed. And what I mean by that, right, that like if my light is bright enough, it's going to pierce the deepest darkness, you know what I mean? And so it's like, for me, it's like, I don't look outwardly and be like, oh, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? You know what I mean? It's like how am I hiding the light? You know what I mean? Like
right.
What am I doing that is not allowing that light to shine even brighter, to pierce the deepest darkness, But lately, I'm starting to understand that we're supposed to be the soil, right? We're supposed to be the soil that enables the thing to flourish. If you're talking about community, you know what I mean? It's like part of cooperation, right? Which is what I'm all about, or strive to be about, is am I someone that people can cooperate with? Right. You know what I mean? That's a real question. You know what I mean? And like, look, if I'm disagreeable, if like, you know what I mean, I'm, gangster or like, like whatever, you know what I mean? Then like, people gonna want to mess with me. You know what I mean? And so it's like what kind of soil are we creating? Because I think in this hour we got to be a living witness. And not by word, but by demonstration and power. So the more that we're walking in love, we show what love is. Because one of the biggest things that transformed my life was knowing that, like, Jah doesn't have love, but he is love, right? And like, that's a huge shift. It sounds small, but it's a huge shift, because now it's like, okay, my whole thing is about how to be loved. And that's why he said disciples known by their love, right? And so like I guess what I'm trying to say, like, what is the goalpost? What is the thing that we're striving for? What does it mean to keep our eye on the prize, or that he keeps us in perfect peace whose mind is stayed upon thee? All these, like, what is the thing that we're pressing towards? You know what I mean? And so, that's what I'm talking about, my hands being on the plow. You know what I mean? Like, how do I give my life for the benefit of humanity? How do I give my life for the benefit of others? And realizing like that includes me. Like I'm part of the community as well. And for a lot of years, I was so far out there that I didn't understand that, like, I matter too. You know what I mean? And so it's coming into this place of like, okay, so how do I take care of me and my family as well? Because we know that family is the genesis of nation and community. You know what I mean? But like in this hour, I feel like we're in the valley of dry bones. And it's like, are we that living water? Are we rehydrating the earth? You know what I mean? That righteousness cover the earth as water the seas. You know what I mean? And so like in this hour, like it's shifting my mind state that like, I want to be that living water. You know what I mean? I want to be that fragrance that you was talking about earlier. You know what I mean? And, these are lofty goals, right? But what gives me, confidence and grace is that like the joy of the Lord was to consume his vessel. Right. Like he never says to build, it's always to inherit, to receive, because he already finished it at the cross, right? And so the more that I know that like, I would love to be one with the Most High, but to know that his joy is to be one with me, who can take that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
That's cold.
That's
cold.
That transforms my whole thing. I get going, so we could just, I apologize.
Man,
we need it, bro.
For sure. Also, let's do a legendary quote by you, right? So you say, I want to say, give thanks. I can begin to extend my gratitude for love, encouragement, and support. It really makes me feel like I belong and that I am a part of the community. Such a blessing and witness to the grace of the Most High. May we continue to rise to our full humanity as we acknowledge the gifts and talents within each of us. You said that.
I don't even know where I say that. I have no idea. Did I say that tonight?
No, I found it. No, I actually found it on your Facebook, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, to me, I think like the biggest shift that the planet is going through right now, and even questioning, is are we independent or interdependent? I'm telling you, like it sounds like it's a small thing or it's like a heady thing, but it's like if we're interdependent, then like all these things come with it. So if we're interdependent, that like my future is connected to your future, then like love comes over fear. Yeah. You know what I mean? Cooperation comes over competition, right? Like all of these things, like your shining is my shining too. You bringing out your like this podcast, right? Like you said before when we were starting this thing, that like you trying to create a platform for Dayton to rise. You know what I mean? So you doing that, you creating space for us. You know what I mean? Like that's that dependence. You know what I mean? Like how we're rising up together, right?
Wow.
You know what I mean? And like what is our soup? What is our sauce in Dayton? You know what I mean? We be home of the funk. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like what is our brand? You know what I mean? And like how we gonna be amongst each other? You know what I mean? To show what is possible. You know what I mean? And so yeah. So I think like when we make that shift, all these things come with it. You know what I mean? And so it's really like knowing. You know what I mean? And like there's a quote where Bell hooks and she says, "Know but verify and practice." Right? So I can know we're interdependent. But if I don't live that out, I won't know. Right, I want to know. Like he said, taste and see that the Lord is good. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And so like we got to try the word. You know what I mean? Because the word's going to always show forth. If it's the word. Right. You know what I mean? And so it's like it's separating the wheat from the chaff. You know what I mean? By our liberty. You know what I mean? By how we live amongst each other. You know what I mean? So, and I talk more than I live. You know what I mean? Like it's a continuous process. You know what I mean? And so that's why all I can do is bear witness to grace and mercy. You know what I mean? I'm a living witness. I can't get around that. Right. You know what I mean? So yeah.
He the first guest to beat me to a butterfly effect. He told us what we did with the podcast. He legendary, right? So here on the Legend People podcast, we had a thing called the butterfly effect. It was either something I heard during the course of the interview or something I found during the course of my research that I found that was truly profound or amazing. I want to think about what Smed said before and we get Smed a point. One time we was in here and we had this weird feedback in the mic. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And the words would echo and come back around over and over and over again. Yeah. Into millennia. It would just keep going over and over and over again. You just said out of your mouth that, you know what I'm saying, like your words are resounding. Like you speak more than you. To me, that is what we need. We need more of this more than what is the like the poison in the ear that we were talking about off camera of music that, it done turned a little bit different now. Just going back to my first interaction with you, this is after you first went to Ethiopia, just based off the time, because you was there 2011, you came back 2012 to do some work here. That's when I met you at Sinclair. Dr. Tway, which is, he's the first person besides Mr. Lawrence that saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. Yeah.
A lot of people have that testimony.
Yeah. I'm in school, I'm already done with trying to be a rapper. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm really trying to just focus on provide for my family and, you know what I'm saying? And like doing my best. He goes around the room and he asks everybody what they want to be. I think I was the first person, because I was the type of person where I'm in school for real. I sit right up front. I don't sit in the back. I sit right up front. I'm not playing. I'm paying for this. I'm sitting right up front. He go to me and I'm the very first one. And I tell him, I'm a mechanic. I'm school to be a mechanic. He stopped me right there because I said I'm in here to be a mechanic, whatever. I'm just trying to do that now. He stopped me and said, no, we got enough rappers. We got enough dancers. We got enough athletes. What you're doing is something way more important than what you think is important. Yeah. And it changed my whole mind state. It changed my whole mind state. And then actually I ended up joining the it was the after school, the African American Culture Club. Yeah, Culture Club. I actually joined it. That was my very first interaction with besides black people being considered African as well, so like a real African, right? I'll go off later on in my life to meet other people that are Africans, and I don't have the negative connotation I had before where they saying like they don't like black people in the third. And literally, my business partner, I started the youngest all-black hedge fund in Ohio called the Sankofa Investment Group. Wow. This all was a butterfly effect of you coming back, you come to the class to talk to us, you doing stuff like that. Not to mention all of the work that you've done. That Gettysburg, Kroger's, I used to live on Lorenz, Westwood. Wow. That was that was the one I went to. My mama sent me down there with $20 to go get something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now I live closer to where the Gym City Market. I can get my location now. I know y'all trying. Jack Boys watch the show too. I know. I see y'all in traffic. Nah. I'm just being silly. But seriously, because on your journey through faith, you gained a lot. As Tony Ruby says, you need some skin in the game, right?
I say.
For you to go through a life of not being forced on you, you can fully embrace it, fully love it. And like we said before, that fragrance is fully on you, man. I'm telling you, through my research, it made me start researching something I never researched before. Man, I came here today talking about Rastafarianism and the Black Bible, and I didn't know anything of that. I literally had to pause that and say, wait a minute, I think I get done writing my interview. And I'm going back to it, but I want to tell you, that fragrance is fully on you, King, and you are absolutely a legend, man. And I know you a humble guy. But I'm telling you, you have personally impacted my life and my son's life, my kid's life, and of course, man, as well.
Man, Amaha, bro, it is definitely something about you, bro.
Yeah, bless.
Like, it's not just what you do, but honestly, The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
He had the glow.
Yeah.
Right.
Bro, you are the first bro with the glow that have actually came in here. Man, I seen you at Dave Chappelle. Remember when Dave Chappelle came for the Dayton Tornado concert?
Yeah. Okay.
So, as the Most High would have it, bro, you was right next to me at this concert.
Okay.
Wow.
And you was actually having the time of your life there, bro.
Sure was.
Bro, you was dancing. You was feeling it, bro. But I was like, man, who is this bro? And ever since then, I had always wanted, because you looked important, bro. You really did. And man, come to find out, man, you are feeding the city.
Oh my God.
Man, the Gym City Market, bro. Let me put the camera on me real quick, bro, so everybody can see my eyes, man. The Gym City Market, bro, is a beautiful place.
Absolutely.
Clean. It's what we want.
Yes.
Like, when we all want something together, we have this collective vibration.
Yes.
It's interdependent.
Right.
When we all know how something should be, or we all kind of think somebody should live up to this particular expectation, a lot of the times they get there. And I think Gem City Market is like you and your bros and sisters who came together to put this together, but I put you as the point guard in this situation. You took everybody's collective vision on how we want our grocery store to look from top to bottom. It ain't too big. You can go in there and you can get with all you need quickly.
Yep.
It's clean and it's right here for us.
Yep.
And it's by us.
Yes.
Man, I went to the
Ubuntu,
Gem City
baby.
Market. Let me tell you what happened to me. Let me tell you what happened to me at the market.
Okay, here we go.
Went to the Gem City Market, bro. First time I was ever there, I had on a shirt. It say Teshuva on it. And it's a picture of Yahushai.
Okay.
Right? Or Yahshua.
Right.
He's on my shirt, big boy, all over print, real major. But there was a Israelite, Hebrew, outside in the parking lot.
Okay.
He was either passing out some literature or something. And he come to me and said, bro, he on fire for the Most High.
Yeah.
And he in his
Flames
lane.
up.
Right.
I done been where he at, and I done studied and built. But he don't know that. He
Right.
think I'm asleep in Jacob, basically. He trying to get me together,
Talk
right?
that, man.
So we in there talking. I'm chopping it up with him and this and that. And I asked him, do we know a couple of brothers? And he says, he tell me he really don't mess with them like that. And then I said, well, let me tell you something, bro. I said, you really don't have time to be angry at anybody else for what they do, because all your time needs to be focused on yourself. So it's almost like you can't even observe somebody else's wicked things that they're doing. Why? Because you got so much wickedness around you that you need to be cleaning up, as we all do. You can't really be mad at them because you don't even know they're doing these things because you're too focused on yourself. And we just start talking about forgiveness and love. And so by you coming here today and the things that you were saying, I now that I think about it, your whole vibration is around your place. In so much that, like, when you're not there, I think that your type of vibe gets into the people that come there and act accordingly how you would want them to behave in your place.
Wow.
You're not going to see trash there.
Nope.
You're not going to see disrespect. It's really a lovely place.
That's a bar, man, because there's love in there.
Yeah.
It's you in there. And all your things that you collect around you, the Most High got this force field of Amaha all around your place.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah.
Big vibrations, man. Tall salute, bro. Legend. Like, beyond talking, beyond anything, anywhere you go, I bet you people feel the same thing as me. Like,
Absolutely.
well, you got your hair is major.
Yeah,
You know, you just you
big-
coming through.
Big boy lion, you know what I mean?
Coming through Sellassie'S, man.
Yeah. You know,
Man, yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
You know, I want to say, as I'm sitting here, I'm holding back tears, you know, because I know the perception is greater than the reality, and that's a testimony to the grace of the Most High, you know. And so, I'm trying to hold back the tears. You know, I'm thankful. You know, I really am thankful. You know, and you know, it's interesting when you mentioned before. You remind me of Malcolm X, El-Haj Malik Shabazz, when he said that, you know, you wasn't always woke either. You know what I mean? And so like sometimes, you know, they like talking about the brother at the. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes, you know, everybody trying to down the next one. You know what I mean? When just last week they was doing the same thing, whatever. You know what I mean?
All
and so,
day.
You know, it's each one teach one. You know, it's like I would be remiss, and I'm glad you brought up Dr. Sway, because he was definitely instrumental in my life, you know, and in my family's life, you know.
Wow.
And you know, the elders that paved the way for us to be where we are today. You know what I mean? Like any touchdowns we're getting. You know what I mean? Like what they did to allow us.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
Yes,
you
sir.
know,
That's a bar.
You went crazy right there.
You know, and you know, we're standing on the shoulders of some mighty elders. You know, and it's like, what can we do to be that little pebble or brick, You know what I mean? For those that come after us, you know, because I'm convinced that, you know, like if you're looking at the River Jordan and entering into, you know, grace over grace, you know, which would be one, right? You know, I feel like our generation is we gonna get, you know, we in that water, you know, and it's the next generation that's going to establish the land afterwards, you know what I mean? But like, I truly do feel a shift, you know, and you know, I think it's acknowledging our common humanity, you know, universal brotherhood, if you want to call it. That might not even be the right word to use, but it's like, you know, what it means to be one.
Yes.
You know, and to search it out, you know, because like I don't need to know how to be it, but just my quest for it, you know what I mean, can transform things, you know what I mean? And the more that we're all seeking how to be it in whatever way, you know, the Most High is showing us, you know what I mean? But like we're chipping away at that iceberg, you know what I mean? That keeps that, you know, said love of me gonna wax cold in this hour, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why the love is so important, right? Because you gotta be distinction, you know. And in this hour, when we're talking about the polarity, not the polarities, what is the word? I'm trying to think what it is.
The circumstances,
like how like right now it's like a moment of decision.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like King talks about chaos or community. You know what I mean? And like in this hour, you know what I mean? It's that choice. You know what I mean? Are we gonna be pro-human or not pro-human? You know what I mean? Like are we gonna seek love amongst each other? Are we not? Are we gonna perish as fools and all these things? Like you know, it's that moment where it's like you know, even looking at political, you know what I mean? Like there's that divide that you can't be in the middle anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like what side are you on? You know what I mean? Like you know, so we're being forced into a decision. So I think our job is to be the best example of what is possible, that people can make a clear decision or even know a decision is possible. You know what I mean? It's like that's why, you know, an elder told me once when I was complaining about lack of movement in the community, that he said, "How bright is your light shining?" Shut me up, because I realized that like, yo, why am I complaining about all these things when my light is dimmer than dim? You know what I mean? Like what am I doing to do my own work? You know what I mean? To be a better human being, to show, you know, what is possible or whatever. And not saying that I'm doing those things, but like just this notion that like, you know, light does exist. You know what I mean? Light is possible.
Right.
You know what I mean? And how we can live in that thing. He said that if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we're going to have fellowship one with another, and the blood of Jesus Christ is going to cleanse us from all of our sin. So that lets us know there's a space of reconciliation already on the earth inside his life. And he said that in him is life, and the life is the light of men. Right? So now we know like that discipleship, the following, you know what I mean? Like I could follow you until kingdom come, and you know, you will still be you and I'll still be me. I'd be called a little you or whatever, you know what I mean? But when it comes to Christ, you know what I mean? Like he consumes
all of it,
who seek to be like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the whole thing about being a fisher of men. You know what I mean? Like he said, you follow me and I'll make you a fisher of men. So the more we're walking in that life, you know what I mean? The brighter the light shines, like the prayer of Jabez, you know what I mean? Like, you know, some light goes across cities, some light goes across states, some light goes across nations, you know what I mean? And so it's like increasing our territory. As we increase the territory, we allow the Most High to fill inside of us, you know what I mean? And so it's like, yeah, it's a real thing, and you know, I talk more than I live, but I've seen enough to bear witness, and I have a zeal now, like I had like 20, 30, like I got a new zeal right now. I'm hungry for this thing right now, because I've seen too much, and even the market is a demonstration to me that like it's possible, you know what I mean? Like nobody can shake my faith on that, you know what I mean? And so like it's just like, you know, it's an unction, you know, in this hour, you know?
Right. So how do we invest? Because when we had King of Background here, and she was saying that we can still invest in it.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, 10 years from now you can invest, right?
Okay.
It's, because you know there's some co-ops that have 40,000 members, right? Right now we have a little bit over 5,000, right?
I'm sorry about that. Let's take a break so I can fix this mic real quick,
Okay.
and y'all, we'll be right back in 1 second.
Every time I come in the press room, you're in the press room. Working on our Stars hot tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up. I'm out your way.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Yeah, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
Don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man. Okay.
Y'all want to help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still.
What's up, though, man? I'm sorry, you guys, for cutting off our commercial that you see on TNT, ESPN, Disney Channel, and much more. So, just stop bragging.
Man, you not bragging, man. All you do is look. That's your fragrance. Testify and bro. The fragrance of the Most High is on you, man.
All right, so check this out, man. Now, I ain't the only person that got a business. There are businesses like Shiekhs, where you should go and get your breakfast from. They have the best breakfast in the city, man. I absolutely love Shiekhs. And not only should I talk about their breakfast, but they got good people there, bro.
Absolutely.
And that's another good part. You want to go somewhere where it's good to be, and Shiekhs is exactly that place. Yes, sir. We got Shorty and Ron C over there at Shiekhs. They got more than breakfast, actually, but we want to talk about their breakfast. We want you to go there because it is the best in the city. And then for lunch, go to Agnes All Natural Grill.
Hey.
A very good place. It's on third. It's on 3rd and Wayne. They got jerk chicken, good old jerk chicken wings, chicken cheese steaks, jerk chicken bowls, and cocoa bread and brown sugar lemonade, and a lot more stuff too that I'm not bringing. I think they even got tilapia. They got like a lot of stuff down there, man. You know,
Pineapple bowl and all that.
Pineapple bowl, man. Good,
shop.
very, very, very good spot, man, to go. And he's in the city now, you guys. So we ain't telling you to go way out to the Dayton Mall. He right downtown, man. So go see North, man, at Agnes All Natural Grill. So the other day we had was it Brandy Hoskins in here?
Absolutely.
She said she got in a car accident, right?
Yeah.
Not after the show, but before, a couple of years back. And when she did, she called attorney Michael Wright at 937-222-7477. And you know, if you want to get you a couple of dollars where you can open up your own business, keep you a neck brace in the backseat of your car, you hear me? And then, you know, call attorney Michael Wright, 937-222-7477. By the way, I had a disclaimer. Michael Wright has never told me to say any of those things. That's just me. I'm just playing.
He can put a season.
I'm just joking.
Hey, man, he can put a season assist on you.
Right? I'm like, Smeg, come on.
Everybody keep putting with these neck braces on.
Be like, that's just Smeg being Smeg. That's just,
It was a foot injury. You showed up with a neck brace.
that's just Smeg being Smeg. He just playing. All right, and then let me tell y'all about baby Amazon, bro.
Hey.
Not only Denise actually works for Legendary People Podcast.
Yes, she does.
She's telling me our audio is messed up or it sounds better. Okay, let me look it on the bright side, man. And so thank you, Denise, for that. But outside of that, bro, go to shoparea.com, man. It's our city's own Amazon from 4 days to your door.
From your door to 4.
From your door to 4. What?
To your door in 4.
To your door in 4 business days. Shipping is free from the store to your door in 4, Peanut. Me. You blocking my light. Now, okay. I think you've been drinking some Kiara Wine.
Hey, good. He is every sponsor.
He's drunk, man.
I'm not.
I'm a Kiara Wine.
I will have a glass.
And Amaha has been drinking Kiara Wine. Okay? Man, we need Kiara Wine in Gym City Market.
You know what? We do need that. Yeah, we do need that. Yeah.
Let's go.
Man, let's go, man. You guys, man, make sure y'all ring the bell notification, man. If you were watching this on Facebook, man, I don't care if it's tomorrow or 2 weeks from now, whenever you go and you check out this video, please go to our YouTube page, like, subscribe, ring the bell notification. You can go and watch all of our old interviews or our other interviews. Bro, we done had Michael Wright. Man, yes, who did we have on the show yesterday?
Mark Baker.
Mark Baker came to our show. Bro, he played for Ohio State, played against the Fab Five, played against the UNLV Running Rebel team in 1990 when they won the championship. So Mark Baker is a real Dayton legend, man.
He also played for
Similar,
the Toronto Raptors as well.
man, Toronto Raptors, man. We had Brandy Hoskins on here. She played in the WNBA, played for Ohio State. You know, Michael Wright, man. We got Amaha Sellassie'S man here, bro. Like Tommy Owens, Marlon Shackelford, who threw me the assist to get Amaha to come on, you guys. So we've had everybody who means something. Not everybody, but we've had a lot of people who means something to this city, bro. And you can get a lot of juice out of these interviews, man, for yourself. These interviews are to inspire others, you know. Amaha said something very profound. He said that our gifts aren't ours, but it's to actually give away to somebody else.
That was hard.
Right? And so, man, we take that treasure right there and then apply it to our lives and apply it to this podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, okay. I do a little bit of self-promoting, man, taking his quotes and applying them to us. But nah, you guys, like, real talk, man. Go and like, subscribe, ring the bell notification, and do all of that stuff for us, bro. We really appreciate it, bro. Brothers like Amaha that's coming on our show, they validate our podcast. They make it special, and they make it major.
They make it legendary, man.
Yeah, they do. They make it legendary, bro. Seriously, because people like and even though, and all of these great bros deflect, but I mean, if they wasn't doing something special and noteworthy, we probably wouldn't ask you to come. So at least can take that. You know what I mean? Peanut, back to you, bro. Let's go.
I got some quick hits before we get out of here.
Yes, sir.
So the KKK rally in 2019, y'all created the Anti-Hate Community Forum, right? So, like, what do you think was more important about us coming together during the time that everybody thought it was all doom and gloom with the KKK, which is only like 4 of them showed up. And only 4 of them showed up, and it was 3 teeth between all 4 of them, right? So, 3 teeth. And if you need teeth, I'll let go for your mouth.
But didn't the city spend about a whole lot of money to prepare for that rally or something?
Yes.
Man, it was 6 something. I don't know if it was 60. It wasn't 6,000. It might have been 600,000. I can't remember. It was a large number.
Yeah. The Anti-Hate Community Forum.
Yeah. I can't remember. I think I participated in that, but I don't know if I created that. I can't remember.
When you so great, you'll know if you created it. Nah, you just part. But like you was a part of it. So.
Yeah. You know, like I think it was a thing of like, you know, are we going to choose love or are we going to choose hate? You know what I mean? And like as a community, I think that going even to what you said earlier, right? Like the KKK rally brought the community together in ways ever before because people, oh hell no, y'all ain't coming here with this business. You know what I mean? Right. And so people from East, West,
he's in the middle of punching somebody and was like, wait a minute, brother. That's some KKK members down the street.
Right.
So, you know, like, it brought us, I think it brought us together. Yeah. And I think it positioned us for the tornado that happened the next day, right? Because it was like, I recall, like, you know, people that you normally would not see on the west side, deep on the west side, handing out Gatorades. And did I lose my mic again? Okay. Handing out Gatorades and you know, putting up grills to make sure people have food. You know, the way that we came together was living out the vision that we had just the day before about like how we are, you know, one humanity, et cetera, you know. And so to me, that was significant, you know.
So 2021 in July was the grand opening of the Juicy Generation. It was in Ethiopia.
Shout out.
Thanks. It's legendary.
Yeah, no, that was a blessing. That was a blessing to be there. I don't know how you found that, but like that was.
I get that a lot.
That was a blessing. Shout out to the fam.
Shout out to the fam. The West Dayton Strong after school program and the summer program for the DeSoto Bass Public Housing.
Okay.
So like what was, I mean, to me, every time there's a negative connotation over a hood or a ghetto, they always attribute to the DeSoto Bass. Right. Why was it important to go there to help the people that they saying are the worst? And I'm not saying that. I don't believe it at all. There's a lot of good people down there as well.
Oh, enough good people down there. And I didn't go down to help. I went down because I was working on my master's thesis, and at the time, these maps were out that said, you know, measured opportunity in the area, and it said that, you know, the west side of Dayton was low and very low in opportunity. but nobody really knew what that meant. Like, they define opportunity as conditions favorable for the attainment of a goal. But like, what did that mean to live in an area that lacks opportunity, right? And so I did some focus groups inside the Bass and the surrounding area to hear, like, what is the community's definition of lack of opportunity? And, and I think one of the things that came up was they felt that they were a land that was forgotten, right? Yeah. Over excessive things that we don't want in our community, but we don't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables and all these things. But Miss Donna, shout out Miss Donna.
Shout out Miss Donna.
She was like, I have this little Bible. I have sometimes the kids that come by my house and we do a little Bible reading and I help them with their homework. And like, that was the genesis for it. And I remember being in the focus group and, I'm a community researcher at heart, right? And I'm an organizer. So I was like, I took off my hat and I was like, okay, what do we want to do? You know what I mean? And that was kind of the genesis. Me, Robbie Brandon, Tiffany Brown, Miss Donna, we helped form West Dayton Strong, and we really walked with the community because, parents volunteered, parents helped, and we all walked together because we knew, we deserved more. And I think the other part to it was, at that time, there was no free after-school programs in the area. You know what I mean? Because they closed Mallory Pool, all of these things, right? And so it's like, youth deserve. We want to complain about youth wilding out, and we're gonna cancel. What was that thing that they used to have downtown twice a year? Urban Nights.
Urban Nights.
You know what I mean?
Urban Nights.
They cancel all these things because youth acting up, but then you got nothing for them to do.
I don't have the devil's playground.
Yeah, so it's like. So we want to provide, that space, you know what I mean? So that's how that kind of emerged.
So I can't let you leave without asking you the question, if you've seen it or not. So we're talking about the DeSoto Bass. Mm-hmm. Have you seen where they was out there, like, baptizing people?
I knew he was going to say that. Yeah.
How do you feel on that?
Man, I feel a lot of different things about that. Like first of all, whoever wanted to give their life to Christ, give thanks, But it doesn't have to be on camera, And to me, it feels like it was like look at what we're doing and this, that, and other, Instead of being about the work, Because it's like, man, it's not about that, And so to me, it's like. I feel a lot. It's kind of grandstanding, and it's also like, I don't know. Part of me, it feels like you're trying to say like, oh yeah, these people over here need to be saved. You know what I mean? Like there's some kind of stigma and this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't follow. I'm sure they're doing great work, and I hear they do stuff on buses and this, that, and the other. But I think it's this thing of like how we walk with the community instead of like this over thing or like I'm trying to save you or anything like that. We're supposed to be an invitation, you know what I mean? And so like let's
it's plenty of people for them to save right next door to their own house.
And that's kind of what and like I don't know them or follow them enough to say that they haven't been doing that or they haven't been filming that. I honestly don't know, but it's like why does this one stand out? And like you gotta, set up the whole camera and the whole, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, like what is that all about? You know what I mean?
Work, man. I mean,
like I can't, everybody gotta do what they gotta do, But yeah, that kind of shook me. And I got a lot of calls, you know what I mean? Like how'd y'all let that thing happen? It is that, and so.
There was some old brothers and sisters down there too taking part in that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, I don't.
They like played a prop in this show, man.
Yeah.
It's exploitation.
That's exactly what it is, 100%.
Yeah, I thought that it was kind of.
So let's talk some good black representation, such as the Dayton African American Cultural Festival and
Shaq and the whole crew.
And that,
Yes.
and what's the importance of us having that strong base of having that cultural festival and having the love for each other?
Yeah, like on some levels, I think we haven't even fully tapped into what we can be yet with that festival, because it's all about our culture, right? And we got to understand our role in culture and our own liberation, our own freeing ourselves from internalized oppression, right? And, every year, it's always a great event. There's never any issues, you know what I mean? And I think it's to me, it's like a family reunion, where it's like, we're coming together and, we're rebuilding a relationship. Because to me, we need depth over speed. And what I mean by that is that, like, we need to be relational and we need to build deeper relationships, which to me always goes back to that whole independence versus independence, right? Like what are the goals, right? And I think the festival is a good way to highlight our culture, promote our culture, ground us in being the home of the funk, and just having a good time together, and like so, but something like that event, right? Like, I mean, there's thousands of people that go there, like, what would it mean if we started activating those gifts and talents towards a collective vision?
Right.
You know what I mean? About like what we can be together.
Like keeping that momentum after the festival's over with.
Right. The festival, like years ago, like especially like Shaq and I, it was a notion of like, it's more than a moment, it's a movement. You know what I mean? And so the Culture Festival is part of that. It's grounded in the Elders Council, and so it's like how we put these pieces together to really like highlight, showcase what's in the community, build the deeper relationships, and plot our way forward. I mean, we got shout out to Steve Muhammad who does the Speaker Seeker, the Speaker Series,
Love
you know what I mean?
brother,
Like, man, we got powerful hitters, you know what I mean, that are all coming together, and how do we continue to open up to get more people engaged and involved, and really like, how do we as a community take ownership of that festival, right? Because it's like right now there's like, there's a smaller number that works behind the scenes to help make that happen. But really it's like, how do we as a community own that for ourselves? So like, this is our thing, you know what I mean? That like we're going to take the lead on, co-create, and see what happens,
The Gym City Market is the blueprint for it,
man.
baby. If you think about it.
Yeah.
Man,
Wow.
Amaha, with some of these elders and some of this council, and we'll wrap it up, bro, because I know you done had a long day.
Yeah.
But with these the council and the elders and stuff that you kind of sit with, man, how do people get with these bros? Where are the meetings at, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? In order for more people who may want to come and be a part of this community collective vision that you're talking about, how do we come together and organize? Where is it at? Where do we go?
Yeah. Like for the Elder Council, I want to say the third Mondays is a community conversation, and I think spaces need to be created to gain more access to the elders, right? Because like there's a saying that when a elder dies, a library is lost, right? And so it's like how do we really value our elders? And one thing that I am 100% guilty of is I don't spend enough time with the elders, and then something happens and then it's like, oh my God, like there's so much wisdom that I did not get, and so like how to stay at their feet more. I want to say the third Mondays is a time. And we probably need to create other spaces too, And I really want to create, spaces for just conversations, like even like we're having right now, what I mean? Like how do we, like, to me, like strength is in accessibility, like I know like the world teaches us that like power is through your exclusiveness, right? But like to me, it's about like our accessibility. You know what I mean? It's like if we're walking with humanity, we need to have spaces where people can come together, that we can share our gifts and talents, right? That we can hear people's experiences, that like sharing, like when I hear people's experiences, then I can start saying, oh, this is a collective experience. It's not just my experience, but like it's something that's happening. Then we can say, what do we want to do about this, right? You know what I mean? Or how we want to accentuate it, because it's not always talking about negative. Like what are the positive things that we're experiencing too? You know what I mean? And so like to me, it's like how do we demystify and how we make visible the invisible that's already present, you know what I mean? That we can truly move forward, And so, and I'm not the best at doing it, and I need to work on that more. you know. But yeah, I think with COVID too, it's hard to find that space. You know what I mean? But like now that it's coming out more, we need to find more spaces and watering holes where we can gather. You know, what I mean? As family.
Definitely on the build side.
You know?
Absolutely.
On the build side, like a lot, man. Everybody can just play an important position. I mean, you know, we got places that people respect, and these could definitely be hubs for something.
Absolutely.
Something that we all kind of working together.
Yeah.
You know?
And for real, I mean, cut you off. But like the Gym City Market, like, so, you know, we have a teaching kitchen, a health clinic, and a community room. The community room, the purpose for that was to have what you're talking about, right?
Right.
Because, like, you know, I know some will know and some won't know, like Cheers, right? You know, when Norm walked into the bar, everybody yelled, Norm, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was this notion of, you know, a third space, right? So you have your house, you have your work, and where in community do you have that fellowship and community? Like, even remember the song that said, where everybody knows their knows, right? You know what I mean? So how do we create those type of spaces in the community? And that's what the community room Gym City Market was for, right? That we can have these conversations, that we can, you know, what are the common experiences? What do we want to do? How do we want to organize? You know what I mean? Like we have a space, you know what I mean? We can ground and have these reasonments, you know.
Can
and it's
we
ours
just
as a
there?
community.
We just go there and we all just build where it's not any necessarily. It's like just a social space,
right?
Oh,
but kind of like of consciousness.
Yeah.
I would love that.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we just need to just come down
Organize
there
it.
and then just. Well, it's not necessarily even an organizational thing, is it? It's just like. I just like, bro, meet me at the Gym City Market, man, and we're going to go down there and build. We're going to check out Amaha.
Yeah.
And then we just talk about things like this, but only there, and it ain't necessarily on camera.
Right.
We just
Right,
kind of
right,
think
right.
tankish or planning
Just
or
building.
building session. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
it, bro.
Yeah, we need more of that. And I'm reminded of you mentioned the elders, and there's a song by Sweet Honey and the Rock called Ella Baker's song, right? And it talks about the role of elders as far as like clearing the way, but also the need for elders to pass down the rock. You know what I mean? Because when the elders hold on to the rock too long, you know what I mean? Like,
He gets sacked by the quarterback. He got to throw that thing to me. I need that touchdown.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, power needs to be in the younger generations. You know what I mean? And so, like, how do you push power down? Like, I know Shaq and I, we said years ago that, like we're never going to even hold the rock. You know what I mean? Because it's like, as stuff get passed to us, we got to pass it down. Because if not, we're going to repeat this cycle. You know what I mean? So, like, what generation is really willing to take the L, quote unquote, you know what I mean, to pass power down to where it needs to be? You know what I mean? That we can truly flourish and, like, reach our full potential. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, elders got wisdom and guidance, and you know, they cleared the way and they help us understand. You know what I mean? But we need that zeal and that strength that the younger generation has. You know what I mean?
You definitely you need somebody that's not too distant from the young people, because the young people can go out here and revolutionize things, man. They still got that energy, and they don't have the maturity or whatever it might be that calms us down. You know, because, man, we get to a certain point where we like, maybe
Life done put a lot of things in perspective.
that battle ain't worth fighting no more, you know. But, you know, when you're younger, you don't have as much to lose, which can be a good thing, you know, if you want
responsibility-wise,
for sure.
For sure.
So, like, it kind of needs to be, like, the elders need to kind of pass it on down to them people in their
We need to meet in that community
40s,
room.
40s, early 50s, and then maybe that might even be a little too old to kind of properly communicate with the kids.
Yeah,
You need a liaison. You need a guy like my age. I'm right there in the middle.
You right there.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 36.
Yeah. Like,
see,
I can
that's a
see
good
36, you know, into like mid 20s. Like, so like I feel our role is how we create space, you know what I mean? How we build capacity and how we position you, you know, because one thing that, like, we didn't always receive mentorship in our generation, you know? And so like how do we, you know, create space and room for you to flourish, you know what I mean? For you to be our aspirations, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and so and that's what I mean by pushing power down, you know, because if we hold on to the rock and, you know, it's like, man, that's not good. We'll be in our 70s and just passing it off. You know what I mean? Like power needs to be where power is going to be the most impactful and effective. You know what I mean? Sir, and so it's like how we push it down and open up spaces, even as spaces were opened up for us. You know what I mean? And learning. I think mentorship is crucial. Leadership development. You know what I mean? Like we need to be birthing leaders because we need to be a leader-full community. Yeah. We don't need 1 or 2 leaders, man. Like we need to be leader-full, and that's what it means to bring our gifts. You know what I mean?
Every time we put all our eggs in one basket or 2, and then they pick them out.
Yeah, it makes it dangerous. You know what I mean? It's like, we need to. That's why I'm all about. I can't think of the word right now because it's been a long day. But decentralized leadership, you know what I mean? That everybody's bubbling up. Everybody's operating in their gifts and talents. Because see, as we build that level of trust in the community, then it's like, I don't need to have 2 weeks of meetings before I make a move. Because I trust you enough that when you see that gap, shoot that gap. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's going to win, sometimes it ain't. You know what I mean? But keep shooting. You know what I mean? Like, keep going for it, right? Because that's why the level of trust is so important, because the level of trust is what allows us to break every barrier, every imagination, everything that's boasting against what we're doing. It's the strength of the relationship that's going to enable us to press through. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's knowing the power of togetherness, the power that comes rooted in love, all of these things, you know what I mean? Grace, right? Like all these things are the necessary, like social force, right? If we're going to press through.
Word. Legendary comment section.
Let's do it.
I started talking about
man, come on, man.
You here for that, bro.
Yeah.
Man, you know what I mean?
You crushing it, man. Crushing it.
All right, you guys, we're going to read these comments real quick.
The legendary comment section.
Man, we got Denise Lewis, the owner of the shoparea.com. She said it's store to door in 4. I think I made that up for her.
I say.
Hey!
Let's go. And then, Antoine Cunningham said salute and said that you were stating a lot of facts.
Facts. Yeah.
Big facts. And that's big, doing it big for the kids. He throws this parade, so he definitely involved with that community. This is a great interview, y'all. I like this view where we can see everybody. I had our 3-in-1 view going. And I think I might be mispronouncing this name, but it looks like Wody.
What's the last name?
Wody, is it Michael?
Mikael? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
What's going on, brother?
And it said, the earnest expectation of the creature wait upon the manifestation of the sons and daughters.
That was what I was talking about. Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, that's real.
Hard.
Good, thanks.
Yeah, man. And then I learned so much tonight. And then Celestine Taylor Davis gave a thinking emoji.
Oh,
so man, we definitely had people chime in.
She was part of the Culture Fest.
For sure, man. Yeah. Man, y'all, we want to tell everybody to go to Shiekhs for breakfast, Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. If you ever get injured in an accident or any other type of injury, call attorney Michael Wright at 937-222-7477. Kiara Wine. Contact Antoine Cunningham on Facebook. And the shoparea.com is baby Amazon. You can buy just about anything on there. We did get this. This is just one thing, but this is a cool little gadget that we can actually have different camera angles here at the Legendary People Podcast. So we're going to try this out next week.
We're going to do a live unboxing. How about that?
Yep, for sure. Live unboxing, man. Coming next week on the Legendary People Podcast.
Man. He
knows the camera out there.
So, man, a lot of love to Amaha. Peanut, I'm about to give it to you, and then Amaha, you take us out with words of wisdom to close it on out. Is that good?
Yeah,
that's
Peanut? Cool.
All right, Peanut, it's on you, bro.
Yeah, it's your boy Peanut, aka Dash Resource. I do sales, stocks, and I dope every Sunday, 8:00 p.m. right here live at the T-Shirt King Studio. Make sure y'all go support my sponsor, T-Shirt King 247.com. But yeah, you get my book for free on Amazon. Like I said, I like to keep it free. Smith keeps telling me I got to take the price up, but you know, I'm keeping it free. So get it while it's free, y'all.
And taking the price up from free is only like, not much.
Nah.
20, give me $20 for that book. He deserves
But
it,
yeah,
bro.
I want to say thank you to everybody, you know what I'm saying, who would hit me up with positive words of encouragement that like, yo, I love what y'all doing. And man, I want to give one more legendary quote by the God himself, man.
Yeah, for sure.
He said, "We are the village. Get up, stand up, and organize."
Yeah, man.
Good thanks, man.
Man,
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
blessing.
Amaha, come on, bro. Take us out. Give us some of that good old wisdom, bro.
Man.
When we out of here.
How about prayer, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
How
it's
about prayer? You want to leave out with a prayer?
I mean, we can do that.
all right. I like that.
All right. That's my Wawud, Memphis Kados, Saharamak, Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. That's my Memphis Kados, Saharamak, Amen. Father, we just thank you for your love, and we thank you for your grace that covers a multitude of sins. And I humbly ask that you just continue to bless all those that are fasting and praying and meditating in your word. May you deem us worthy to have renewed hunger, renewed zeal, renewed focus on you and seeing each other inside of you. And we humbly ask that you bless those around the world that are struggling, those that are in need. And may you deem us worthy to be an example. May you deem us worthy in this community to be a kingdom outpost. May you deem all those that are listening to this broadcast, all those that are doing their work, you know what I mean? That those that we know and those we don't know. May you continue to this bring us together, fitly joined and compacted by what every joint supplies. We thank you for your grace to cover the multitude of sins. Bless this podcast, right? The legendary podcast. Lord, allow it to cover the globe with your word. Allow it to cover the globe with just your inspiration of the goodness and mercy that you shed abroad across all men. And so we just bless you and we praise you and we ask forgiveness for the multitude of our sins. Amen.
Amen, man. Thank you, Most High, man. You guys, we love everybody watching the show, man. We really appreciate you coming in, King.
Likewise.
Man, much love, you guys. We out.
Thanks
We'll
for
see you
having
guys
me.
tomorrow. We got Nove coming in, elected
Will
official,
Smith.
bro. Will Smith in the building, bro.
Big dog
So,
Saturday.
yeah, man. 1:00 tomorrow, y'all. We early. Peanut is going to Vegas this weekend, so
I'll be on business.
so man, he's going out of town, bro. So yeah, you know, blessings to my brother, man. Safe travel.